Thanks for tuning in to the Conch, a Bring Joy podcast. I'm your host, Joy Nulisch. I'm a first-generation Conch raised by a fourth. What does that add up to? A whole lot of Conch pride. And that's what this show is all about, celebrating the incredible people of Key West and their stories from every corner of our Conch community. So sit back and relax, cuz. Let's do this thing. This episode is sponsored by Ramona's, promoting Conch pride since 1971. How we doing, Conch fans? I've got a good one for you today. We're talking with Jennifer Averette, a true Conch, Special Olympic champion, and Hall of Famer. Welcome to the show, cuz.
Hey, thank you for having me, Joey.
So let's get right into it. How long have you been participating in Special Olympics?
I've been involved in Special Olympics for 30 plus years.
That's awesome. That's almost your whole life.
Pretty much. The life is old.
And what are some of the sports that you've competed in, and how have you done in those sports?
I competed in stand-up paddle. I was one of the first athletes to start stand-up paddle and was able to achieve in it to be the first athlete to go to national games in 2028 in stand-up paddle. And I also compete in swimming, started going 25 meters and ran up to 100 and 200 backstrokes.
That's awesome. That's fantastic.
I started basketball in 2017 and been to other state games since then. And I just got back into soccer in the past year.
That's very cool. And you mentioned the national games in Seattle.
Yeah.
Is that what you got 2 gold medals on? Tell me about those gold medals. One of those is from that Seattle games, correct?
This is right here. And let me tell you, that water is so cold. It was like, us Conch, you're not used to that cold weather and that cold water.
Yeah, the Conchs are not used to the cold weather. In Seattle, that's completely on the other side of the country right there.
Oh, yeah.
But you represented Key West well. I don't know if you remember this, but when you came back, when you flew back into Key West, there was a whole fan club of Conchs at the airport. Remember that?
I remember walking in there and seeing all of them sitting there and standing there.
That was a special day. I remember it because I was there and there were so many people. I could barely reach you to give you a hug, so I just reached over and gave you a high five. But that was a very big deal for you and Miss Ruth to come back, and you represented Key West so well. Since we're talking about the medals, go ahead and tell me, what is the other medal you have on?
The other one is my Hall of Fame medal. I was the first athlete in Monroe County to be inducted into the Special Olympics for the Hall of Fame last year.
That's next level, cuz you're Olympic champion and Hall of Famer. Talk about Conch pride. That's it. That's why I had to have you on the show. Hey, matter of fact, next time I see you, I need to get that autograph, all right? Have your people talk to my people, right?
Yeah.
Good stuff. So let's take a moment and talk about some of the coaches that you've had along the way. You mentioned stand-up paddle. You were the first Olympian to compete in that sport. You mentioned swimming, cycling. So tell me about some of your coaches who's helped you compete in those sports.
Now, in stand-up paddle is one of the top stand-up paddlers some years ago had a game that been this helping me since the beginning. Randy Aceto, so tried football. Almost all the Conch know who Randy is. And then Simon is Robert Bacon, so Simon. And then soccer and Lisa buses.
That's great to have coaches that volunteer their time, right?
Oh, yeah. And they always need more coaches and more help, so it's good.
You heard it here first. They need more coaches and volunteers for Special Olympics Monroe. What a rewarding opportunity it would be to participate at that level. You mentioned Randy Acevedo, so I'm gonna go ahead and jump on that for a second because Randy was my good friend. He was my boss for many years at Monroe County Schools. But I don't know if you know this, but him and his wife Amber also help sponsor my podcast. They do a lot for the community to support other conchs. Much love to Randy, right?
Oh yeah, and Amber.
And Amber. We talked about you as an Olympic athlete. You mentioned the Hall of Fame. What is your current role with Special Olympics?
My current role right now is being a health messenger to Special Water. That's to help athletes in Monroe and Florida to help them get what they need to compete, and if they need just to help them with like eyes, hearing, if they need nutrients or any help they get to that program.
What do you enjoy most about participating with Special Olympics?
Most I love being around family and other athletes, and it's not always about running. It's always about meeting new people. I met a whole bunch of new athletes all over the USA who really that I never knew about and stuff like that. It's pretty cool.
Exactly. And like you said, you traveled to Seattle. Where are some of the other places that you've been?
I've been to Seattle. I've been to New York one time to stand up paddle, and of course right here up in Guyana, Florida.
All over Florida, right? They know
Oh
you
yeah,
well in Orlando.
oh yeah.
My little cousin, I don't know if I ever told you this, but my little cousin Addie, she's a Special Olympian. She lives in Jacksonville, and she just recently had a softball competition and did really well. So maybe one of these days you'll meet her, and you'll have to tell her
I
that you
think
know
I know
me.
who you're talking about.
One day you'll have to meet on the court and send me a selfie. So you mentioned the state games? What are some of the recent competitions that you've been at? I heard there was a flag football competition, and what do you have coming up in the near future that you want to talk about?
So we just got back from state game, so we came in fourth ahead. We all coming out on pattern. It's first, second, third, fourth, it doesn't matter,
And what else? What else is come? What do you have coming up?
Now on Saturday the 22nd, we had a lemonade stand that it'll be helping one of my good friends and the other has she been chosen to go to national game in Minnesota in 2026, so stand up paddle. Bossy. So bossy. And she is going to be at Starfield doing the lemonade stand on right seat from 10 to 2 to help her get to her bossy Minnesota to Team Florida.
That's awesome. So
Yeah.
Fausto's Saturday, November 22nd, you could get the best lemonade you ever drank and donate to get the Key West athlete
To the
that,
game.
to the games. And you said that's in Minnesota. So you better take a jacket. Speaking of the other athletes, I see you around town. I see you at the gym with some of your friends and other conch athletes. How many Special Olympians do we have here in Monroe County?
We have in Monroe County, we had 800 athletes in the whole Keys right now. That's it, and without disabilities.
So you say there's 800 total Olympic athletes
In the whole
from Key West to Key Largo. That's fantastic. I had no idea. And you mentioned the partners. I think you said the partners that
the
help make it
two
possible.
the 200 partners and some Kila tequila. That's mostly all two based, all the partners.
Like I said, I had no idea there were that many athletes. So I'm glad. That's why we're having this interview.
Oh yeah, and right now we have 14 ports up and down the Keys right now.
Well, listen, I want to say congratulations on all your success as a Special Olympic athlete and leader. For someone from Key West to win at the highest level and also to be recognized as a Hall of Famer, that's a big deal. I'm real proud of you and I'm happy to know you. And I also happen to know that not only are you a Special Olympic athlete and leader, but you're an artist as well. How
Yeah,
long have you been painting?
I've been painting since I was in grade school. Since going back to Reynolds, so that goes, I mean, that tells you how old that is. I mean, there's no more Reynolds anymore.
Yeah, so yeah, like you said, going back to Reynolds School, and you're right, there is no more Reynolds School.
No.
Uh, yeah, you're showing your age now for sure.
Hey.
Who are some of the local artists that inspire your work?
Yeah, one of them is my cousin Milo Sanders, who is an unknown artist in Key, and the other is my mom, Amita Averette, that almost everybody knows her too.
Yeah, for sure. That's I don't know if you could see it behind me, but that's a Mario Sanchez print back there, and he is a very well-known artist. They have an exhibit now at the Customs House Museum. I think they have like over 200 pieces. Have
Yeah.
you ever been over there to see it?
Oh yeah.
And you mentioned your mom, like you say, everybody knows your mom. She's an
Everybody knows
artist
my
as
mom,
well.
everybody knows her artwork. So
Where, if somebody wanted to see your art, where could they find you?
they can find it at Guildhall Gallery on Givenchy at 14 Gilboa. Yeah.
614 Duval, the Guildhall Gallery.
In the nursing right out of high school. So
So you're a professional artist in your spare time.
pretty much then I have it.
I'm gonna have to go check it out. I've got a few empty spots on my wall. I need to give me a Jennifer Averette hanging there. So you mentioned your family already. I know you have deep roots on this island. Tell
Oh
me
yeah.
about your family and some of the connections that you have that maybe we don't know about.
Yo, I didn't know this until I found out to my aunt. But my God, great grandfather, George Johnson, was the first person to be recognized in Monroe County and in Key since the 200s.
That's incredible. So
Yeah,
you got roots here since the beginning.
since the beginning, on both sides of the family. Again, on my mom's side, everybody knows that these people. If my little Peter Estinos, who owned the Peter Estinos and Chen Garage that used to be on Givenchy.
And I heard I wore this hat. It say George Myra. I don't know if you see this autograph
Oh,
right here.
I see it.
Yeah, I heard that you might have connections to George Myra also.
Yep, he is my uncle.
And you know, one of my most favorite people in the world is the fire chief. You know the fire chief?
Yeah, my fella. And he supports a lot in the arguing Special Olympics and it's pretty cool.
Yeah, that is really cool. I
Mm-hmm.
was going to ask you, who in your family do you think I should have on as a guest on the podcast? Who would be a good guest?
Iron. Iron.
Put in a good word for me, okay?
Hey, that's easy. Got me and Michael. Come on.
Yeah, you mentioned Michael, right? I had Michael on last month, a couple of guests ago. We were talking about the kickball league that he's starting. So yeah, we got to add Alan to the mix.
Yeah.
That sounds good. So Jennifer, I'm gonna go ahead. We'll wrap up the episode, but there's two big questions
Okay.
that I gotta ask you. This is what everybody wants to know. What does Conch Pride mean to you?
Compound means to me living on this island. I am a conch and a true conch. I've been my compound wherever I go. I've also been the conch competitive side to every single competition that you go to. I cannot throw a baseball without hitting somebody that I know not able to do on this island. So
I love that. She said she can't throw a baseball without hitting somebody she knows on the island. That's Conch pride. We don't leave home without it. We're taught that in Key West High School. Before we graduate, we got to make a commitment that we don't leave home without it. And you not only don't leave home without it, but you take that Conch Republic flag wherever you go, right?
oh yeah, everywhere.
That's good stuff. That's really good. And the last question, what brings you joy?
Nothing me good is being around my family and friends and love doing it and and being the best that I can do.
That's beautiful. You bring me joy, Jennifer. Every time I see you, you got the best smile. You're always friendly. You always got a story to tell. I love seeing you. I'm proud of what you and all your friends are doing for Special Olympics to represent Monroe County. And I appreciate you being on the show. Go Conchs.
Go Conch.
This episode is sponsored by Ramona's, promoting Conch Pride since 1971. I'm Joy Nulisch, and I appreciate you tuning into my podcast. My purpose is to bring joy into my life and the lives of others. If you enjoyed this episode, drop a review, share, and subscribe because there's a lot of good stuff on tap. You can also follow Bring Joy on YouTube and Instagram or check my website at joynulisch.com. Now go bring joy to the people in your world. Until next time, much love.